Kia ora, talofa lava. My name's Ruth Wong.
Kia ora, talofa. My name is Alieta Uelese.
And my parents are
Asovale Tuimaseve
and Huia Tunua Tuimaseve.
And we live here in Hastings.
Oh, well, growing up as a half-caste, Samoan and Māori, I was always wanting to learn both my parents' side. When I got to school, you had to kind of choose whether you were a Samoan or a Māori because you couldn't tick both the boxes. I always felt like I was being unfair if I ticked Māori or Samoan. But at home, we had a wonderful upbringing.
We grew up in a Māori community in Bridgepa, and when we were young kids, we moved to Samoa. Ruth was 3, I would have been 6, and Tracy would have been 7. My mum was a teacher at one of the church schools, and we didn't speak Samoan, so we were in the English classes with the other teachers' kids. So the other teachers came from America or Hawaii or other places where they spoke English, so their children were in the English classes, and that's where we were. I felt funny that we couldn't speak the language, but it didn't really bother me at that age till I got older.
I wanted to learn Samoan culture more because I loved my dad. I've always loved my dad. I always felt like I was like him because I was hardworking, woke up in the morning, wanted to go work at the freezing works. I always wanted to be a shadow with him. With Mum being a school teacher, Dad being a community man, and both of them are strong advocates for their culture. Bringing us up, however, learning English, which was their choice to bring us up learning English, they still taught us the culture of being a Samoan and a Māori. In Hastings though, in New Zealand, we were more surrounded by our Māori culture.
Yeah, I think I was closer to Mum in a sense that I used to travel a lot with her. She taught Māori and helped to get the Māori cultural events started up again in the primary schools. And I loved the Māori culture. So did it at school growing up right through to high school. But the Samoan culture stuff was, our cousins did it. It was kind of like that. It was our family did the Māori stuff and our cousins did the Samoan stuff. And then when we joined their group to do something for a family thing, we looked ridiculous. And it kind of put me off. Both Ruth and I, we did dancing, actually travelled around and did dancing in Samoa for the tourists. And that was kind of our cultural connection. When we came back and we were older, we were in our youth years, doing it was embarrassing. It was kind of embarrassing because they were hard out into it. We didn't even know the words to sing because we didn't understand. Yeah, it was kind of a turning point there for us. And we thought we could either get into it and learn it or just let it be. And so we just let it be. So we grew up to be adults without it. And I kind of regret that in a sense because now we have our own kids.
Kind of sad thinking about our culture because there is some traumatic stuff as well that comes with that. When we are amongst Māori whānau, they look at us as half-caste and we're Samoans, and we're not quite full Māori or accepted fully in the Māori culture. When we're amongst the Samoan whānau, it's the same. They look at us as half-caste Māori, and what that means is that we're pālangi. If you're not full Samoan, you're pālangi and you're treated differently. Unless, of course, you can speak the language and get out and lava and do a hula and play a song. So we try and hold on to some things that keep us feeling like we are Samoan, because we are. I am very proud to be Samoan as well as Māori.
Even though our kids can't speak Samoan, we're brought up still in a family cultural situation where our dad cooks food from Samoa. We've made polisami together as family with Dad. He's taught them how to make favourites from Samoan food, and so our kids have been around the culture in that sense. We also, while Dad's been alive, we've taken our kids back to Samoa about every 4 years or so, so we've had a few trips back there, and the important thing is that they've travelled around to places Dad was brought up in, met his family, his generations, and so that's been the way that we've been able to still instill cultural values from Samoa into our children.
So there's a lot of things to think about going forward. I think it slowly thins out as the generation goes on, that passing on of the culture. We don't actually realise it's in us. So it's a good thing to think about how we can continue passing on who we are.